Welcome back to the program, guys. You're listening to The Y Factor. We have a very, very special guest today. We always say special guest every week, but this is like an international guest, isn't it, Moran?
I'm personally a very big fan, all the way from the US.
That's right, the state of California. He's a co-founder of Ummah Films and is most known for his Ask Baba Ali series, where we mention his name right now, and the reminder videos where he takes contemporary religious issues amongst Muslims. He's the most popular Muslim on YouTube in the globe.
He's like the Oprah of the Muslim world.
Massive, massive, massive. Welcome to the program, Baba Ali.
Assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khair.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
You're looking all confused. Ask Baba Ali. And you don't know what to do. Ask Baba Ali. If you want advice from a friendly, funny guy, ask Baba Ali. The Y Factor.
So, first of all, how are you liking Sydney?
I like it very much. I like the people. I see Muslims everywhere. This is awesome. It's amazing.
So, would you rate it higher than Los Angeles, where you're from?
Yeah, you guys have the same weather as we do, but with more Muslims. So, of course, I have to rate it higher.
And you were telling us earlier you had a very interestingly named mosque that you pray in?
Yes, I actually pray at North Hollywood Mosque. So, I basically prayed in the Hollywood Masjid.
Masjid Hollywood.
And you bump into superstars casually after Salat?
You never know who's going to walk in. Like, a while ago, the brother said, hey, let's go out for dinner. And let's go out for hamburgers. And this guy was standing next to me and said he was going to come with us. And I said, okay, sure. But guys, I'm kind of busy. And I kind of brushed off so I can go play basketball instead. And later on, I came and found out the guy who was standing next to me wanted to go have hamburgers was Lupe Fiasco. So that's what you get at Hollywood Masjid.
Fair enough. The Muslim stars.
Lives up to its name.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into it then. Seeing it's been a very short stay for you here in Australia, but from what you've seen so far, what criticisms of the Muslim community do you have?
I noticed that you have Sydney, there's so many Muslims around, but in this local area, there's not too many masjids. So that was interesting for me that there'd be more masajids in small area. But other than that, it's been amazing that everywhere you go is halal food. You don't have to even ask if this halal or this is not, because it's like almost by default, almost every Lebanese restaurant has halal food, which is awesome.
I think that depends on what suburb you're in. Perhaps you've only been in like the Western Sydney suburbs.
Yeah, and that, to be fair, I've only been in one small section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been the Bankstown sort of Lakemba region.
Oh, okay.
So it's a fair few Muslims.
Yeah.
And look, since Baba Ali's, I guess, right here,
we might as well adopt the whole Ask Baba Ali approach, like but live, rather than wait for your YouTube videos.
So, Baba, we're going to throw you straight into some deep water. You're in the hot seat at the moment. First question, is poking on Facebook haram?
That you need to ask the sheikh. I don't poke anyone, no one.
So you won't give Facebook fatwa live on
I will not give a Facebook fatwa. People keep poking me, so I don't know what's going on. But
do you poke back or do you just leave it there?
I just leave it there. I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, and this was 2.5 years ago. Facebook sent me a message saying they have too many friends. Which says
really?
I've maxed out on friends too. I can't add anyone.
Is there actually a limit to how many friends you can have?
Can you ever have too little friends, like one friend, and then you have to be deactivated?
Yeah, I say, okay, you know what? You're too lonely. You need to move away. They
then Baba Ali can donate some friends.
I have plenty too.
All right, next question. What's the number one defense mechanism against the Aqidah police or the Haram police?
Versus the Haram police, the best thing to do with them is like, smile. They're not smiling very much, so they need to smile, inshallah.
But then what if you smile and they tell you it's haram as well? Because, like, for example, cross-gender smiling.
Cross-gender smiling? Well, I don't think the haram police can be sister, because that would be kind of weird. But when the brother does it with me, I smile, and if the sister smiles, then she may think that, he wants to get married. Oh, no. But that can be awkward. Okay, erase that. So,
moving on.
Oh, my God.
Next question. Have you tried Vegemite yet?
Vegemite? No, I have not.
Have you heard about it?
No, I have not. Is that the veggie chips?
No. It's actually a black Australian spread you put on toast or bread.
Some people liken it to tar.
Tar? Does it taste like tar?
It looks like tar.
Does it stop the roof from leaking on the?
I think it's kind of made of yeast.
Our last international guest said it should be made haram. So.
Oberregan, that was, yeah. All right, next question. Does excessive laughter break your wudu?
It depends who's laughing. Some of the people who are laughing and they're making funny noises with their body, I will break their wudu. But generally, I don't think it breaks wudu.
I think this is right down your alley, Baba. What's your take on student Islamic societies on campus, aka Matrimonial Services Australia?
Yeah, in the States we call them we have MSA, Muslim Student of.
Yeah, same thing as.
Same as Australia.
It sounds more like Muslim, single, and available. So.
Oh, I like that new take.
Yeah, so you never know.
Well, you'd know all about that with your matchmaking service as well. Do you get a lot of clients from the MSAs?
It's interesting because the people who actually end up, the people who end up saying, separate the men and the women, there's always that sister from the sister side, the brother on the brother side. No, you guys need to separate. You guys need to separate. These two are usually the ones who end up getting married. So,
subhanAllah. Great minds think alike.
All right. Well, speaking of your Muslim matchmaking website, which is called Half Our Deen, what are your tips to young Australian Muslims looking to get married? Join an MSA?
Yeah, MSA, you have to find ways to meet other people. I mean, it's not realistic that you're going to somehow wait for someone to knock on your door and ask for your hand, especially if you're a guy. What we do in our matchmaking website is we ask people to ask questions that don't have right or wrong answers. Oftentimes people ask questions like, are you a good person? Are you religious? And by default, everyone's going to say yes. So I tell people, ask questions that don't have right or wrong answers so you can get the real answer. For example, if you want to find out if a sister is high maintenance or not, you ask a question like, would you rather set your own style or be in style? Now, if the sister says, I need to be in style, that means you need to get 2 jobs instead of 1. If she says, I set my own style, that means she doesn't have to buy the latest brands or the latest things always. She can do it once in a while, but you can work 1 job, inshallah.
Well, there's a tip you wouldn't have found from a general Google search.
Absolutely, unless you Google Baba Ali.
Another cool question is to ask questions that's going to actually impact marriage, like, when you get mad, how are you going to communicate? I mean, these are real questions that we try to do on our website so we can find out like the real person. And there's no right or wrong answers, and that way you get the real sense of what this person's like, rather than even if you meet them offline. I mean, if you meet them in person, they'll tell you kind of answers what you want to hear. And unfortunately, it takes about 2 years for people to the masks to fall off and to realize who you're really married to, and that's why I think 30-something% of our Muslims are divorced.
I always did wonder about those who do meet online. I mean, does it take a while for you to adjust when you communicate online, sometimes people are more open, sometimes your whole relationship is very different to someone who's having a relationship face to face. So how does that figure into the way people sort of meet up online on your matchmaking service?
We do our online version, and we have people. This is a way for people to connect with one another. People they'll not normally meet. Mm-hmm. If you have people, the best way for me, and this is my advice to everybody, is to go through your parents because they probably know you better than everybody else. If you have that door, a lot of my people like myself who are converts don't have that door, and if you can't do that, then try to look locally. And if within locally you still don't find somebody, then you go international, or you go outside of your city, and that's where Half Our Deen comes in play. We started the website July 18th of 2011. We're almost to our 1-year anniversary, and 150 people have told us they found their other half. So weddings are coming left and right, and then people are very happy with their other half. So the formula is working. You don't have that with other websites that just launched. They've been around for 10 years, and you just hear sometimes horror stories. I mean, if you think about it, they ask you for your height, your weight, your age, your hair color, your eye color, and what you do as your profession. That's like buying a used car. You need your mileage, the color of the car, does it stick shift, is it automatic? I mean, those are just basic information. You want to know the deep information about the person, what makes them tick, what makes them unique, what makes them special. And if you can connect people like that, and you can compatibility, that makes it a marriage, inshallah, that's going to last.
How was Half Our Deen, the project itself, been received by the Muslim community per se? Because we know they're very, critical of anything new and innovative of the traditional sort of, process of marriage. Yeah. So have shuyukh approved it? Do you have shuyukh on your website as consultants?
Or even not just shuyukh, like general Muslims?
Yeah, I've been actually quite surprised. I thought there was going to be much more resistance when it first came out, but I think a lot of people, especially shuyukh, people from Maghreb. Muhammad Faqih is one of our big fans that really, really likes our website. He'll tweet about it and talk about it.
Wow.
If you actually look up Half Our Deen and look on people's Twitters, you'll be surprised at the number of shuyukh that actually publicly say, and we don't pay these people a penny. They're not endorsed by Half Our Deen or consultants. They are just doing it at their own free will. So the whole idea was to build a product that's completely different than all the other matchmaking websites, with the hope that the product itself will sell itself rather than us selling it, spending all this money on marketing. If you look on Google, you'll never see one Facebook ad or a Google ad or anything. While all the other advertisements, all the other companies are spending so much money trying to advertise their product, we don't need to advertise our product. Our product is so solid, alhamdulillah, people tell others about it.
Inshallah.
And that's why we have over nearly 1,600 people on our website active. Not people who signed up and left and got married and you come as a registered quote-unquote member. These people are actually using the website like today.
Wow.
So last time I checked, around 1,600 something people are on the website actively using it.
Is there a
pretty impressive.
follow-up process as well? Like, let's say two people, they're like-minded, they find their other half. Is there a follow-up process in their part where is that it, half our din is out of action now, or do they continually, keep in contact with?
Very good question. The thing that's very unique about our website is the number one thing that's very unique about our website is it's a completely private website. It's a private experience. On these other matchmaking websites, especially if you're a sister, the last thing you want is to put your picture, your weight, and your height all for the entire internet world to know about.
Absolutely.
And our website doesn't have that. If you go to halfourdeen.com and you try to do a search, you'll see there's no search. Once you become a member, then you can search only for the opposite gender. So if you're a sister and you become a Half Our Deen member, it understands you're a sister, and when you do a search, only brothers show up. Therefore, a sister can't go see which other sisters on this website. They'll never know. And
so
the brothers can't make
the
fun.
gossip opportunities.
Exactly, the gossip opportunities are completely eliminated. So for brothers, that's also a big plus too. You don't have sister and brothers just making fun of you.
Fantastic.
See, the reason these guys are laughing is because as me and Bona Muhammad are, mashallah, very good companions, we always tease each other. And Bona's right outside the window right now making faces, mashallah.
So, we're just, but Bona's been restrained at the moment, so he's under control.
Which means that we can carry on with our interview here.
Just quickly, look, I mean, you've become you're a YouTube sensation, right? And I believe you work in the IT field, and it all started from one video blog.
Yeah.
I mean, how did the phenomenon start, and why? Was it this something you thought? Did you realize it would go to this extent around the world?
No. I tell people if I thought people were going to be watching my videos, I would have dressed nicer. So I started the videos because I got frustrated sitting in Jummah and listening to the khatibs. Until today, they only talk about two relationships. The relationship between you and Allah and you and yourself. All the topics are related to that. Therefore, you hear topics about dhikr, fasting, Ramadan, Salah. These are all relationships between you and yourself and you and Allah. But when it comes to relationship between you and other people, for example, Muslim youth, it's no secret that a lot of Muslim youth have boyfriend, girlfriends, even brothers with beards and sisters with hijabs. There's boyfriend, girlfriend relationships going on in society right now. But never once we hear a khutbah about it. We turn a blind eye to it. If I got a chance to give a khutbah, I would give a topic only about boyfriend, girlfriend, and be straight up and be direct like I am in my videos. If I'm talking to older people, I'll talk to them about the reality of their kids. Stuff that they're just living in the fantasy world that, you know what, my daughter, she's not going to be attracted to any male until she's 30 years old and she has her 2 degrees. Or my son, he'll wait, and you guys are living in fantasy world. The reason you guys want these things is because you want them to be successful, and I understand. But remember, you guys got married young, so you didn't have to go through the whole temptation and peer pressure situation. We do. So it's a different world. Things haven't changed between the genders, but you can't put us through this. You can't make the halal hard while the haram is so easy around us. Just not back home.
Considering that you have a platform to young Muslim Australian youth right now, what would you say to them on the issue of girlfriend and boyfriends? I know you have extensive videos on this in your series.
Yes.
Just briefly, if you can.
Briefly, it's a really, really tough situation between boyfriend and girlfriend. Everyone wants to feel loved. Everyone wants to have a companion. And it's extremely difficult. So how are you going to do that without being able to, you want to feel loved. You want to have someone as a companion. And you know what? So we start making excuses for ourselves. And the sisters, the one thing you have that you can't lose is your honor. So what you start saying excuses to yourself, you know what? This is a very good brother. Everyone in the community knows he's a good brother. So even if we have like a quote-unquote relationship, our intention is one day to get married, and Allah knows I want to marry him one day. But the fact is, you're not married. And the fact is, you can't guarantee that you're going to live tomorrow, let alone that you're going to marry this guy. So between now till then, all that can ruin your honor, especially one day if you guys argue and mess it up. Remember, these two people who end up marrying each other and they said, I'll pick no one within the Ummah except for you, 2 years later, they get divorced. Now, you're not being divorced. You're in a relationship that never went on. And then if things happen, you're naturally a human being. Guys and girls, you start feeling the love and the sensation and all this other stuff, things can take baby steps. And if you never did anything with each other, the very fact that everyone thinks you're in a relationship, they will assume that you did.
That's right.
Once you have that scarlet letter on you, it's very hard to take it off.
Absolutely. I think the success of your videos, and I guess your mantra, is you tackle the issues that many Muslim people in the community would classify as taboo. As in, let's not go there, let's not talk about it, let's not talk about relationships, although like you said, this is reality. So what better way to face it than be frank and honest about it? and use our religion
because
to
they are
complement it,
problems that
inshallah.
do exist, and it's necessary to talk about it.
I think oftentimes even the speakers take the easy route out. You know, if you bring up the topic of parents. If the topic of parents ever came up, guess what they'll talk about? These are your parents right over you. Don't say oof to them, etc., etc. Stuff that kids already know. Parents love these talks. Bring my son and daughter, making sure to listen to the sheikh. Listen to the sheikh. Remember, you're supposed to listen to everything I say. But whoever talks to the parents and says, look, you have this right, and what are you going to do with it? Mm-hmm. So I made a video recently called Cultural Parents, because today we have a generation of a lot of parents who are cultural and a lot of youth in this revolution to becoming more religious. Mm-hmm. And now you have this conflict between the two. So I made a video specifically, not talking to the youth, specifically talking to these cultural parents. And I did something in this video I've never done in nearly the 50 videos I've made. At the very end, I ended up saying that there was this dialogue going with this kid and his parents, and this kid was obviously not religious. And he says, Dad, I found religion, etc., etc. And his dad's like, okay, do whatever you want. You can practice religion when you get older. Why you rush into all this stuff? All this typical stuff cultural parents tell you. And Dad says, okay, I don't care. Just do whatever you want. And the kid says, okay, Dad, I don't want to bother you, but I have one thing to ask you. When you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you know that you knew the religion He didn't teach me, and He asks you, why didn't you teach your son what you knew? What are you going to say to him? And the video ends right there.
That's a very loaded question.
It is very loaded. It is very deep. And eventually, I hope these parents will even accidentally watch this video and make them think. Because sometimes, you as a kid tell your parents about this stuff, you're the same kid they change their diapers of, so they don't have the same respect for you. Sometimes when they need a stranger to tell them, and that's where I feel like I fit in. That's what Baba Ali is. We don't know who this is. He's not even part of our community. We don't know who this guy is. And for that reason, I can say whatever I want. I have no sheikh or community or organization I'm affiliated with at all. And I'm like, I'm the black sheep of the Muslim Ummah, man. So
black sheep that helps a lot of people.
You're the shining light on YouTube for many Muslims. I can tell you that much.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, a lot of people do take your videos for advice. I guess that's the point of Ask Baba Ali. So thank you very much for coming in today. It was very insightful, and we're very happy to have had the opportunity to speak to you and glean what we could.
Maybe just quickly, one final message to the Muslims in Australia. What would be your one piece of advice regarding everything?
Everything is like the toughest thing. Even if I know some of you guys may be on the borderline of like practicing and not practicing, and it's hard. The toughest thing is not about you changing; it's about changing your friends. Even if you figure out that I know I'm living the messed up life, the first step is to surround your surroundings, your companions. The Prophet ﷺ picked the Sahabas as companions, and look at that makes your situation so much easier. You have bad friends, even if you're a good person, you're going to end up in bad situations. As Bona Muhammad says in one of his poems, if 9 of your friends are idiots, you're probably the 10th.
Wow, that's harsh.
Fair point. Wise words indeed. Thank you very much, Baba Ali, for appearing on The Why Factor, and we appreciate your time. Jazakallahu khairan.
Jazakallahu khair.
The Why Factor.